All right, y'all, let's get into the shot. Cue the music. Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or fuck discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just the boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video over here to discuss the Shy Season 5 Episode 6. Yeah, I think that's it. It'll be right there in the comments or in the description. And this episode is called The Decision, but we gonna call it Everybody Making Messed Up Decisions. Let's get into it. So the episode opens up everybody getting their cheeks clapped. And this is one thing I could take from watching everybody getting their cheeks clapped. Emmett was the only one back there smashing while everybody was sort of kind of making love. And I caught on to that. Because he was breaking that little girl back. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds bad when you really say it. But you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody was like sensual and blah, blah, blah. Emmett was just so immature. But you know what? They both kids. So everybody's smashing. Now it's time for everybody to stop smashing and have conversations. The first conversation is Darnell wants to move in. He's telling Jada that he wants to move in. And Jada was like, listen, I know you say you want to take it to the next level and whatnot, but the next man that I live with is going to be my husband. Darnell don't like that. See, Darnell, there you go wanting a calf without the cow. What it is, there you go wanting a cow and not pay for the calf, if that makes sense. That lady says she not trying to be shacking up with you no more. Like, no. So then he gets in his feelings and jumps up and was like, man, see, I'm in my feelings. Da, da, da. Like she said, look, we can't keep going back and forth with this breakup, makeup crap. We too old for this. Like, we need to just have a conversation about it. Well, then he goes on to say, well, just listen, I feel like we need to date each other. I need you to take me out. Originally, she kind of did a little smirk about it because she was just like, what? And he was like, what's that, a problem? Just never thought about it, but she's going to take you out. The second conversation is Keisha wants to tell Tiffany that they don't gonna be together because after they finish laying up, getting, you know, pop, or whatever the case may be, she's asking Emmett, what is this? Like, what are we and what is this? And he's like, we can be whatever you want us to be. It can be whatever you want it to be. Cool. You need to let Tiff know. Because he's letting this girl think, or he's telling her, listen, I want to be with you. I don't care what nobody say, I want to be with you. She's like, fine, well, we need to let Tiffany know. His first reaction is, I don't want to tell her because she ain't tell me nothing about what she doing. And it's just like, Emmett, it's not about that. It's about being mature. You can't hide it from her. That's your baby mama. You got to deal with it. Now, if that was just your ex, maybe you wouldn't have nothing to worry about. But y'all have a child together, you absolutely have to tell her. Emmett is not trying to hear that. The next conversation is, Fatima don't want to be a secret no more. Now, her and Vic is in the bed after they smash. He acting like he just, you know, in heaven. And Fatima was like, listen, I'm not your little secret. Do I look like I'm in the group Escape? I do not want to be your secret. And Victor is struggling because he was like, I don't want you to be my secret. You think I want to live like this? But in that girl mind, she's just like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like, you're not about to keep smashing me on the low and not telling everybody we together. That ain't how I roll. She's a classy lady. And the other conversation was, Tiffany wants to meet the Connect. Now, girl, talking about she want independence. Girl, open a business. What are you talking about? You want independence. Why is you trying to go down there and meet the Connect? I mean, if y'all making good money and, you know, nothing is funny and you feeling like I don't want to work for you, I want to work with you. You know, the way, I ain't never been into the drug game. But I've watched a lot of movies and I've been around a lot of dudes. Typically, the Connect don't deal with a whole crew of people. It's only one or two. Just that. You don't have any and everybody going to meet the Connect. So she wants to meet the Connect. And at first, he was just like, for what? But then he ends up saying, you know what? That's fine. I'll let you meet him. Now, that caught her by surprise. Because she was like, oh, I didn't think you were going to say yeah. He said he liked to make you surprised. So there it is. Bam. So we move on. Kevin is getting invited to game night. Now, it's him and his old lady. She over there talking about the stars and all the moon and all that stuff. And he's letting her know, look, girl, I don't care nothing about that stuff. I told you I'm not into astrology. It's not my thing. But in the midst, he gets a text from the secret club saying, hey, you can come on down to the game night. So he's excited about that. And he tells her, and she was like, well, I'm not really into the game. you're going to have to compromise. But she's willing to compromise, so they go head down to the game night. She's going to be there to support him, as she should. So now, the next scene, Emmett goes, no, before we get to the next scene, Gemma and Maisha are having a conversation. Maisha is letting Gemma hear her music. Gemma likes it, but Gemma was like, you need a hook. Like, you just going on and on and on. People like to hear a catchy hook. Maisha was like, look, they going to remember me. They ain't got to remember no hook. But Gemma is on to something, like, you really want to have a hook. But Maisha is not feeling that. Maisha was like, man, I don't like talking to you because you just going to be saying something negative. She was like, I'm just giving you honest feedback. Like, I'm trying to be here for you, girl. Like, we need to be honest with each other. And so Maisha says, well, since we honest with each other, what is you going to do about that baby? And she said, girl, I still don't know. But Maisha said, whatever decision you make, I'm here for you, fat. Now, this is my thing. Gemma, how is you going to manage somebody with a baby and you still in school with a child? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Emmett goes to work and we finally see Dom. We ain't seen Dom all season. So we finally see Dom talking about where you been. I ain't seen you at work. No, Dom, where have you been? We ain't seen you at work. But either way, she was like, look, all the doggone stoves and all this is out. But Emmett has got bigger fish to fry. He's telling her he got some real messed up stuff going on in his life. And Dom was like, it can't be too messed up. And he was like, nah, it is. And she's like, not as messed up as my stuff. Hell, I was screwing you, left you to go be with your daddy, and then your daddy left me to go be with your mama. That's messed up. Now that is. That is. So Emmett comes clean and say that him and Keisha is together, and Keisha wants to tell Tiffany, but he don't. I like the fact that Dom was like, listen, you need to be upfront, and honest with your baby mother, because at least give her the opportunity and at least give her the option to say what she wants to do with what's going on. Don't make it your decision, because like she said, even with my situation, if I would have known that, I would have been the side chick to your daddy. I'd have been the third wheel, because I would have made my own decision. So give her the opportunity to make her decision. That's basically what she's saying. So now Emmett is just like, all right, cool. We move to the next scene. Vic is at this event. I guess it's like a church event. You know, politicians love going to church so they can get the people to vote for them. But anyway, he's at this church event, and this old lady, comes up to him and was like, you know what, I really admire you. I love the fact that you guys have black love. That's something that we all need in these days and time. Like, the lady's just praising their relationship. This is make Vic a little uncomfortable, but he's going to play it off and do what he need to do. But she was like, listen, I'm going to go back and tell my sisters down there at the church to make sure that they all vote for you. Because she said, you can count on my vote and all my church folks vote. So he's really excited about that. So as he's moving away, as he was walking away, as she's walking away, Papa's dad comes up to him and was like, look, when do you plan to announce your candidacy? And he was like, well, I'm not sure. And his girlfriend was like, well, we're looking at the springtime, but we're just not concrete on it yet. He was like, well, cool, let me know, because I want to let y'all use my church for the candidacy. You know, they all rub and grease hands together. You know, preachers is just as negative as prostitution, as politicians, and that's a fact. I ain't gonna say all of them, but I say 95% of them. They just as negative and as crooked as the politicians. So I didn't understand why he felt the need to invite him down there to the church. I remember. That's so that he can have the whole church vote for him, and then the collection plates could be going round and round and round. I get it. So he was like, you know, we'll let you know. They take a picture, and he gets a text from Fatima. Now he's grinning and cheesing, so he goes off into the doggone church. And when he gets into the church, Papa Daddy come in there behind him and was like, look, so I heard, you know, there's a rumor that your relationship is fake. I hope it ain't true, because you got to walk by faith and truth with the Lord. So now this got Victor really in his feelings. Victor was like, I'm a man of my word. And I'm thinking, if your word is a lie, then you show off. Let's move on. We move on to the next scene. Vic getting in the car, he's upset because he feels like he's living a lie. The girl is like, listen, man, people like black love. Like, that is what it is. You got to just play the part. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But Vic wants to be who he is. And in my opinion, like everybody was saying, even Rashad was telling you, Vic, you have an opportunity to be the first, whatever. Because in this climate, you can be whoever it is you are, and no one is going to judge you. That whole old school way of you having to do everything cookie cutter the way it's always been done, That's got to phase out, and it's got to start somewhere. I personally don't see why it wouldn't have started with you. That's just my opinion. But nevertheless, he's not really feeling it. She's trying to talk him into just, you know, being a little more chivalrous. I'm sorry. Open my doors and stuff. People be watching. You got to play the part. I don't know how long Vic is going to hold out with this. I really don't, because it's obviously taking a toll on him right now, and we are already at the beginning. We move on to the next scene. Emmett tells Keisha that they got to tell Tiff. So he runs into the house, and Keisha was like, first of all, Keisha, when is you going home? Anyway, but he runs in there and tell her, look, we got to tell Tiff. And she was like, damn, that's what I've been saying. Nigga, like, who the one made you change your mind? And he was like, Dom. He was like, Dom really, you know, made some sense, and we got to tell her. So now Keisha's whole thing is, we need to tell her together, but he wants to do it by himself. So they both scared to do it. As you should be, Keisha, because I personally don't think that it's right. I personally wouldn't do it. I don't care if they're gone and they're not together no more. I personally wouldn't do it myself. But to each his own. If all four parties are fine with it, I'm cool with it. I'm just saying for me, I wouldn't do it. So you should be scared. We move to the next scene. Tiff goes to meet up with the Connect, but the Connect is doggone Nuck. Nuck is a dude who ended up shooting, didn't Nuck shoot? I want to say, because I wrote it down, I want to say Nuck shot Ronnie. But we'll get there. So Nuck is the doggone Connect. And well, at least she thinks so. And she was like, bro, you the Connect? And he was like, nah, I'm the middleman, but what's up? He basically had the girls come pat her down and was like, you said some real stupid stuff, like, you lucky you didn't go meet the actual Connect because you would have got killed for that. Like, what are you doing? So she was just like, man, look, I'm just trying to get to the Connect to see what I need to see with him. And he was like, man, look, you need to come through me. Everything you do need to come through me before you can even get to that. We move to the next scene. It's game night. Game night, and Kevin gets there and finds out that they don't take cash for the gambling. They take cryptocurrency for the gambling. Y'all churning. Where y'all mind bag while y'all in there gambling on them video games? Where's y'all mind book? Anyway, Kevin ain't got no cryptocurrency. Kevin, was you not paying attention in the class when that teacher was trying to get y'all into crypto? People buying and selling? I bet you're going to go figure it out now. But anyway, this little dude said he going to front him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, you better window. Cool. Kevin goes over there. He wants to play this dude. He an older dude. Why he in there with them children, I don't know. But he goes over there to play with the dude. And the dude was like, bro, we don't do first timers. You got to wait. You got to crawl before you walk, basically. But Kevin is very, very confident that he can play. So dude was like, bet, sit your ass down. Long story short, he ended up beating Kevin's ass real fast. Kevin had to tell that boy, look, I got you, bro. I'm going to get it back. You better, because if not, the people going to get it back in blood. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Gemma is listening to Maisha's song with the hook, and it's actually much better. See? Gemma, you have a calling for this thing. Do you really want to start your life off having a baby at 15, 16, however old you are? Because that's going to put a big derail in all of that. I'm just saying. I know your dad got money, but I'm just saying. But basically, they're both grateful for each other. Aisha thanks her for convincing her to put the hook on the song because everybody liking it or whatever. And they're grateful for each other. I love that. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Tiff gets in the car with Rob and tell Rob that it's Nook, that's the doggone dude that was in there. And she basically said he crazy and he the reason Keisha got kidnapped. So, okay, he was the one that Keisha was going to meet up with when she ended up getting kidnapped. So basically, we can't trust Nook. Nook is like the most grimiest dude, like, no. He has his hands in that stuff with Ronnie and them and all them people, all them children getting killed. And he has his hands, in my opinion, in the whole Keisha thing. He's not to be trusted. But my question to you, Rob, is, Rob, do you know who you're really dealing with, who your real connect is? Because I feel like if Rob knew who Q and all these people was and how deadly and dangerous they was, I don't feel like he would have let Tiff go over them. I'm wondering if Rob even knows who he's really dealing with. But either way, she lets him know, look, man, I said something stupid. He was like what? She said, I called them to connect, and they ended up, almost getting me popped. Like Rob said, that's on you. You wanted it, like, you had it. Like, what is there? What else is there? Tiffany, you're moving too fast. Don't go chasing waterfalls, Fed. Stick to the puddles of water in the pines that you used to. You're running around there trying to go talk to all these connects and see these people like you is that bitch. And them people is going to push your wig back, girl. Them people is going to peel your forehead back. Relax, fat. You ain't gotta go meet these folks. They will be ghosts to me. I ain't never seen them, ain't never heard them, don't care to meet him or him. Girl, stop trying to act like you is that girl. Now listen, you can go around there snooping your nose, and them people gonna push your muffin cap back. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Vic is practicing his speech, and his mom actually comes in. Now his speech is gonna have his mother in it, and he gets nervous when she comes in. He can't really say the speech. And the girl, his girlfriend, was like, listen, she's maybe a little bit motivation. Let's just go on with the speech. So he starts the speech because the mom stays to listen, and he stops in the middle and was like, I just cannot do this. Like, I just can't. This makes the mom feel like, you know, like, what's really going on? Why can't you talk about me in the speech while I'm right here? Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Tiffany arrived at Smokey's. Now, Emmett wanted her to meet him at Smokey's because he said he needed to be in a public place to tell her what the hell was going on, because he had called her in the car while she was in there with Ride. So now, she arrives to Smokey's, and he basically comes clean and said, look, me and Keisha together. She's hurt. Her feelings are hurt. She was like, of all the bitches in Chicago, why Keisha? And then she starts to ask, were they sleeping together? No, first she asked him, was he celibate? And he says, well, and then he goes on to say, listen, I was, but not as of recent. And she was like, were you sleeping with her when we were together? And he was like, hell no. And, you know, it's just a big mind screw for her. That is her friend. I know a lot of people was like, let it be, let it ride, but I feel some type of way too. Even if I was happy where I was, why am I a friend, bro? Like, and then I would never be able to be friends with my friend again, because I can never trust you. But either way, she jumps up out of her chair, and she was like, you know, she felt like Emmett was doing this to get back at her. And he was like, this has nothing to do with that. Like, I really fuck with her. Like, that's who I'm with. Like, and I hope that she can get over it, because girl, you got a new man. Rob takes good care of you. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Jake tell his mama Gemma is pregnant. So Jake see his mama was like, listen, I got a secret to tell you, Gemma pregnant. The mama was like, oh, well, did you tell Vic? And he says, no, I didn't. The mama was like, you really need to tell Vic that girl is pregnant. Jake wants to, but he's afraid. But like the mama said, you're going to be a better parent than me. You need to tell Vic. He was like, you did the best you could, mama. Jake loves his mama. He really does. He loves his mama, but like she said, you got to tell Vic. You can't not tell him. We move to the next scene. Darnell's surprise by Jada is stepping. So they go stepping, girl. They old asses is out there stepping. See, now I don't know much about stepping because I ain't from Chicago, but all I know is the R. Kelly video, the step in the name of love. And everybody stepping in they all white in they culottes. And they, you know, they little outfits with the hats. You know, the girls got the swirly dresses, so when you swirl them around. I wasn't really getting that from this scene. I know all the scenes not like that, but that's just what I get. I get white outfits, all white parties, you know, older people stepping and twisting. The old couple that's been stepping for the last 50 years. That's what I get. But shout out to Darnell getting his his surprise, which is stepping, because he loves to do that. He is ecstatic for it. I'm liking this. Go ahead on Jada. We move to the next scene. It's time for Vic to give his speech. The mama there, everybody there, and it turns out he's giving it about Rashad. He didn't even have the mama in there. He basically said, if y'all want a good man or what good black men are in Chicago, look at my best friend Rashad. You know, he made some mistakes back in the day, went to jail, became a man, and came out a better man because he's been dedicating his life to helping young boys. So the mama feels some type of way, like, whoa, like, what happened to me? Like, what's going on? Well, after Vic gets off the stage, she pulls him aside and was like, hey, I thought you were going to put me in it. Victor's whole thing is, I didn't feel like right now was the right time. And the reason for that is because we don't know how you're going to end up. Basically, we don't know the end results of this. She feels like, okay, well, now you're trying to say that I won't stay sober. Well, Miss Peaches, you have a track record. Like Victor said, this ain't just your story, this mine and Jake's. So we get to say and figure out when we want to tell it. I can't even argue with him with that. But she ends up walking off. She ain't like that. She didn't. Miss Peaches, you got to understand the hesitation. While this is happening, Rosin makes an announcement. There's going to be a 2024 rec center. It's an all-state girl. It look real good. So Victor and Tracy is over there looking confused because they like, what the hell? Like Victor said, did you know about this? And she was like, no. So yeah, there's a new state of the art center coming up, and they are both sitting over there acting like, what the hell's going on? So now after she gets off stage, Rosalind that is, Victor pulls her aside and was just like, hey, what's going on with the center thing? Like, we didn't know anything about that. And she was like, listen, first of all, you got to know you work for us. We don't work for you. We ain't partners. You work for us. We've already made a decision. It's already been in the works. What? So now Victor feels some type of way. Jake come to talk to Victor, and he ended up blowing up on Jake. And I'm just like, why you did that to Jake? Like, dang, that's cool. We move to the next scene. Darnell is in the bed with Jada, saying that he enjoyed his night and he's looking forward to more nights like that. I'm so happy that they were able to do that. Now moving on, Victor asks Tracy if he feels like, or if she feels like they're really making a difference. He feels like because they're being hijacked. Everything that they worked hard for is being hijacked. And he feels like he's losing himself, and he feels like he has to play a role. Now, he's talking about himself personally, but Tracy was like, listen, it's working out for the best. Like, you're gaining traction. People like you. You're going to be able to be successful off of this. But Victor's struggling with that. Then he asks her if she feels the same way as far as, like, him being able to, or him losing himself, for that matter. She responds and says, you know, honestly, I really don't know. But then she goes into detail about how she feels like she's responsible. Well, she lets him know that she's responsible for Ronnie's death. So basically, because Coogee and Bakari are cool, it ended up that Ronnie ended up shooting the wrong person and then getting shot him damn self and killed. So now she's like, I really made a bad decision. I don't think I'm worthy of leading this whole thing, this whole rock center. And he had to comfort her and say, you are bad people sometimes in bad spaces make bad decisions, but that don't mean that you're not, you know, capable of leading this thing. You created it. It's nothing without you. But the way Rosalind is going about it, it's going to be everything without her and you. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Kevin don't want to tell his secret that he got into the game to Lene. And he got into the game club. Now, Lene feels some type of way because Lene was like, man, wait. So you mean to tell me you don't want to tell me the secret, but you telling her? Like, she already know? And Kevin was like, well, she's, you know, she was there when I got the text. Like Lene said, because y'all glued to the hips. So Lene in her feelings. She was like, you know what? I'm done. And she walks upstairs. She's in her feelings because she don't appreciate the fact that doggone Kevin is around here acting as if, you know, they ain't been cool like that. Since you got your old lady acting funny. That's basically what she's saying. Kevin feels some type of way about that, but you should. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Emmett tells Keisha about him talking to Tiffany, and she says she should have been there. Emmett didn't want her there. He wanted to have a conversation with her by himself. And basically, he said he got it off his chest. He told her. Now, he asked Keisha if she spoke to Tiff. And she said, well, I texted her like 4 hours ago, but she never responded. So basically, Tiffany's not answering or responding to anything Keisha has to say. I would not either. She probably needs to process what the hell is going on, Keisha. This is big. This is a lot. They're not even divorced yet. This is a lot. I can honestly understand why she needs a little time. Like, I don't, whatever, I guess. We move to the next scene. So now, Tiffany's in her feelings and Rob can see it. And so Rob was like, what's wrong with you? And she was like, oh, nothing. And then he was like, man, look, you got to start letting me know what's going on. So then she comes clean and said, look, man, I done found out Keisha is fucking my husband. And he said, what Keisha? Yo, Keisha? She was like, yeah. And I was like, y'all is crazy. But yeah. And he was like, well, you know, I understand how that'll make you feel. But at the end of the day, she might be the one to make him happy. And then why do you care either? Like, why do you even care? So now she's like, you always trying to be against me. And he was just like, no, at the end of the day, we grown. We got one life to live. If she can make him happy and y'all not together and you happy where you at, why do you care? I'll say this, he has a valid point. Shit, he about 80-90% right. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't care about the Emmett part. Now, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't care about the Emmett part. But the Keisha part would really bother me. That's all I'm saying. But he was like, let them people be happy, girl. Stop infringing on their happiness. We move to the next scene. Gemma has made her decision. Now, because Jake is smiling, seeming like he, you know, is here for it, because he said he's happy and scared at the same time, I'm assuming the decision is for them to keep this child. Gemma, remember, you trying to be a doggone manager. You trying to go run the world. How you going to do that with a baby? We don't know what the decision is, but all we know is Jake is happy and scared at the same time. Let's move on. We move to the final scene. Vic goes to the house, to what it was, the Rock House, where his mama was staying to check on his mama. And Miss Peaches is gone. The lady opened the door and said she didn't even come back last night. Bed made like she left it the other day. So now Vic is in his feelings. And she was like, you know, sometimes it happened, the lady. She was like, sometimes it happened. It's going to be fine. She's trying to be all optimistic. But Vic really feels some type of way about that. Poor Vic. He finds this letter of her saying, like, listen, you know, I feel like I disappoint my boys, and I don't like to disappoint y'all. And because of that, I feel like I need to leave. And I'm like, Miss Peaches, this is counterproductive. That's part of the part that be disappointing your boys, because you keep leaving, Miss Peaches. Come on now, Miss Peaches. We got to start making sense of this. This don't make no sense. But nevertheless, Miss Peaches says she's going to leave them with the memory of her being sober. And what I gathered from that is I'm about to go get fucked up because you don't believe in me anyway. What's the goddamn point? Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to addicts and people who suffer with addiction and all that stuff, this is what y'all have to understand. Support is the biggest part of recovery. Now, I'm not saying everybody got to just be doormats to people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying support is the biggest part of recovery. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode, because poor Victor, he was crying because his mama gone. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok. And yeah, I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo dog time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.